You are listening to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast with Amanda Karlstad, episode number 270. Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast, a show for coaches who are ready to up-level their business and take their impact, leadership, and results to $1 million level and beyond. If you're ready to break through your limitations and start taking powerful action and become the seven-figure version of you that your business needs in order to grow, scale, and thrive, this show is for you. I'm your host, Amanda Karlstad, master coach, high-level business mentor and advisor, master intuitive, and business growth and scaling expert. Let's get down to business.
Hi. Welcome to the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast. This is Angela, Amanda's podcast producer. We are so glad you're tuning in this holiday season. And as we reflect on the year, we are excited to bring you one of our favorite episodes. Whether you're relaxing with family or carving out some quiet time for yourself, we think you'll find something valuable here. Let's dive in.
Today, I want to talk to you about something that I spent some time thinking about over the last few days. It just hit me as I was thinking through some of my clients and I was thinking through just some of the observations that I've been having recently just in the industry as a whole. And so today I want to talk to you about unlocking the true potential in your business. And what prompted today's topic is that I've had a couple of recent conversations, and as I mentioned, it's been an observation that I've had for a long time in the industry, and I realized that I never really brought this topic to the podcast, and so I decided that it was time. And so what I mean by unlocking the true potential in your business, I want to explain what I mean by that. And when I think about unlocking the true potential in your business, I think about it from the lens of creating a business, of building a business, of growing a business that comes from the highest expression of you. And so what this means is that as you're creating your business, as you make decisions in your business, as you go out and you do all the things to grow your business, that you're doing it from a place where it's coming from the highest and the most expansive version of yourself, and the importance that this really carries in the process. So it's really about operating from your future self as a representation from being the highest expression of you. So one of the things that I think is really important in the process of building, growing, and scaling a coaching practice is that you operate with the end in mind, that you operate on a daily basis from that highest and biggest vision, from that expansive vision that I actually spoke about a couple of episodes ago. That was episode number 108. Be sure to go back and check out that episode if you haven't listened to it yet. And it's being able to stay really laser focused on that vision, being able to stay focused on the business that you have the vision for, and that you're probably at the same time not sure exactly how you're going to get there. So this is where I want to start out today's conversation, and it's where I want to encourage you all to really start operating from. And here's why I believe this is so important for you. Something that I am seeing over and over again in the industry is that there's a tendency to become overly influenced. And I think this happens especially in the earlier stages of your business, where you might see someone else or another coach who has created a high level of success with a certain niche, or perhaps with a certain business model, or a certain way of doing things. And so what happens is because I know all of you have such a desire to build, grow, and scale a highly successful business, that's why you're here. So because of that desire, there is that want to create a similar level of success. And that might be in the revenue number, it might be in a number of clients, it might be in the type of lifestyle. And what ends up happening that I see happen over and over again is that a lot of coaches then go out and they start to replicate what other coaches are doing. And on the surface, this might not seem like a big deal. And in some cases, I will say there are certain things that I do think are important to integrate into your own business. I don't think that you have to always recreate the wheel with everything. But where this starts to become a problem is when it starts to overtake that vision, when it starts to supersede what it is that you really want to build. And one of the ways that I see this present itself is that in some cases, a lot of the same messaging starts to get used. Similar business models are being replicated. I've even seen in some cases where content might be reproduced and there becomes almost this language that gets created around certain things and starts to be accepted and used. And before there's even a level of awareness to it, what happens is that I see so many coaches who are grinding and hustling to build businesses that they think they should build, but that they're not lit up about, that they're not experiencing the level of success in terms of revenue, in terms of impact. And instead, they're experiencing so much resistance in their business. And I have to tell you, one of the reasons why this happens is because of this, is because there is this tendency to not create the business from a truly authentic place. Instead, you might start building the business from a place of what you quote unquote should do, either maybe based on what you see or what you've heard or what you've maybe even been taught. And this happens because in so many cases, when you're new on this journey, when you are coming in, and if you've never built a business before, especially, it can be an extremely overwhelming process. The other piece to this is that in these cases, what I find is that so many of you are not asking yourselves the question, what do I truly want? And then answering that question with full honesty. And I have to tell you all, this is something that I always start. This is a starting point with all of my clients. And it can also be a very confronting place to be in. It can be confronting because in some cases, what you truly want to build, what you truly want, the business you actually really want, might not match up with where you're currently at. It might not match up with where you've been putting your focus. And so what you truly desire, what you truly want, might not be in alignment with what you've currently built. And I have to tell you, this is an extremely confronting experience. But the good news is that in order to get to that future vision, in order to build that future vision, that expansive vision, it's also necessary to go through this process. And so one of the places that this really tends to come up that I see happen very often is with your niche. And I was recently having a conversation with a coach who has created some success in her business, not to the level that she truly wants, but she has created success in her business and she's nearing the 100K mark in her business. And I could tell in our conversation that almost immediately that she was feeling a ton of resistance about her business, where even though, yes, on paper, she had a lot of great things happening, that things were moving in the right direction. She has a lot of great things that are working in her business. But at the same time, there's this very heavy resistance that's happening, that her business really, truly feels heavy to her, and that she was essentially having to do so much thought work on a daily basis and so much reframing just to keep things moving forward. And so in this situation, because she's been focusing on building her business a certain way, because she's been thinking that she has to do it a certain way, it actually has held her back in a lot of ways. And I could see in some very distinct ways where this was actually holding her back. And it was ultimately going to slow her growth and really keep her stuck at the level that she's at. So when I asked her, what was it that she truly wanted? What was that business that she really, really wanted? The truth is that the business that she most wants is vastly different from her current business. It's vastly different from where she's been putting her focus. And what was so interesting to me is that when our conversation shifted to that, when I asked the question and when she truly, honestly answered that question, she could articulate so much more clearly what that future business looked like. She could see so much clearer what that business actually tangibly could look like, and in such amazing detail. And the reason is because she's replayed it over and over, and because it's actually a business, it's actually a vision, an expanded vision that's in full alignment with who she is and what her strengths are and what her story has been and her own journey through her own process, through her own journey of coaching. And it was so powerful to witness this and to see her move into the possibility of her future business and to help her really allow herself to go there and to be able to explain what that actually looked like without any judgment, without any need to present it in a certain way, to fit in with a certain way of doing things, to allow herself to truly be in her brilliance, to actually go to a place of what she truly wants versus the grinding and the hustling and the constant creation from a place of misalignment. And so this is why this concept is so, so powerful. And it's why I believe that building your business from a place of alignment, from a place of what you truly desire, will by far take you way farther than trying to replicate what someone else has done or trying to force yourself to build a business that doesn't truly match up with what you want. This, my friends, is the power of unlocking your true potential in your business. This is how you start to unlock the true potential of your business. And it's the first step towards creating that future vision. And the first step with this is you have to get clarity, which is why with all of my clients, no matter what level of revenue they're at, no matter what their business currently looks like, it's why it's essential that we first get that clarity on what it is that we're building and why we want to build it. Because I don't know about you, but building a business, it takes time. It takes a level of grit. It takes resilience. It takes focus and determination. But when you're building it from that place of resistance, growth can happen, but it's going to happen so much slower and it will be so much more painful versus if you allow yourself to step into your true potential. If you can allow yourself to move into a level of clarity and find a level of clarity where you're building your business from a place of true alignment, from a place of true desire. This is why I believe my clients are able to create such massive, extraordinary results in such a short amount of time. It's because a big part of my work, a big part of my process, a big part of the containers that I offer and that I coach all of my clients through is truly stepping into that bigger version of themselves. It's getting this full clarity on that bigger vision. It's getting clear on their desires, on what it is they truly want for themselves, for their families, for the business, for their clients. But I have to tell you, this doesn't happen when you don't have the awareness, when you don't have the ability to question certain things. It's very important to do this work. And I have to be honest, sometimes it's an ugly process. It's a very confronting process to be in this place. And it can be very unsettling when you become aware that what you've been doing might not truly be what you want to build. That what you might have been focusing on isn't in true alignment with your gifts, with your brilliance. But at the same time, I want to encourage all of you that if you're in a place where this is resonating for you, if you're in a place where what I'm talking about here is resonating for you, I want you to know that this is also where you have the potential to start a new trajectory. This is where you have the potential to start a new pattern of growth. This is where true becoming will happen. It's also where the true unlocking of your business potential will start. All right, my friends, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Million Dollar Coach Business Podcast. If you're ready to step into the $1 million version of yourself and scale your business to 6, multi-6, or 7 figures and beyond, go to amandakarlstadcoaching.com.